for our third campaign today, this is actually the one that's launching the soonest and one that you might already be familiar with if you've been paying attention to the games on Gamefound. And this is Reichbusters Reloaded. Reichbusters is launching when, Giles?
On April 2nd.
April 2nd. And this is a different one. This is one, again, we have 3 new campaigns we're talking about today. This is one that's already been on the platform. You may have had a chance to dive into, but we still want to talk about it because you may have some questions. Plus, this is an opportunity to get into it a bit more. Which, for the short version, before I ask some questions, Reichbusters at its core is effectively a Weird War scenario-based dungeon crawler with a stealth-based system. There's a lot more going on there, but that's the kind of short 2-second pitch on it. But, Giles, this isn't just Reichbusters, this is Reichbusters Reloaded. Can you tell us a bit more about what's changing from the original game?
Yeah, actually, the game was pretty loved, but there was like 2 main, I would say, flaw drawbacks, which were like coming a lot on like BGG and in general feedback from the players, ours included, which was like the noise system was like pretty annoying. And also the loot ones, there were like too many keywords. I mean, so basically what we did was taking all the feedback and make the change people were asking for. So what will be very different from the first game, on the comfort side, I would say there's less keywords. Everything is directly either on the enemy cards or on your hero dashboards, meaning once you know the rules, you don't have to check them again. Everything you need is like right in front of you. So noise system now, I don't know if you remember the game back then, but you were supposed to roll a die basically anytime
every
you
second.
Just breathing. Yeah.
Walk into a room, roll a die. Open a door, roll a die. Pick up a thing, roll a die. Everything is rolling dice.
Yeah. So now, I mean, every scenario will start with a certain amount of noise you'll be able to make, and all the action you'll be doing will make a certain amount of noise. Meaning, like if you're just backstabbing someone, obviously you won't make any noise, while if you're trying with some rifle, like to have a few people killed in a room, it will be very different. So you'll have this amount of points will be growing as long as you're still doing noises. And every turn, the tracker, which will be launching the alarm, will be lowered by 1, which means you're working against time. So thing is, it's still pretty tense because if you're just taking your time, you will launch the alarm anyway, but it lets the player have the choice of how they will be managing, as much infiltration part as they can before having the alarm launch and having like all the swarms of Nazis coming after you. Yeah, anytime you will be entering in a room and you will be killing anyone which will be there, you will have some loot card which will already be on the board. So it's like it speed up a lot how the game is played. The whole hero turn is also very different because before you will have one player, then it was kind of the enemy, etc. Now you've got a common hero turn, so you better have like this A-team feeling of doing some coordination work, and it's also a great way for people to be able just to move in the dungeon, I would say. The other one change is it's a game which is playing with a big deck for people who don't know that. And what really differentiates this game for a lot of like dungeon crawler in general is you can play all your deck in one turn if you want for doing like super cinematic way to play. And back then you will be discarding some card just to have something like just moving or just making an attack. So now you've got a certain amount, which is 2 actually, of action you can do in your turn, which doesn't require any card. So you can then use your card for like doing really, really epic stuff. And after that, I mean, there's like a few other changes, but that's the main part we changed from the game people were used to know.
Perfect. So it sounds like Reichbusters, but more streamlined and more deterministic.
Yeah, I mean, it's less random. I mean, setup is speed up. It's way easier to play. You don't have to catch everything every few seconds. So yeah, I mean, it's
and using the same scenarios in the original game or new scenarios entirely?
No, I mean, as we change a lot of stuff on the rules, I mean, all the scenario we'll have will be only new scenarios because it was very important for us also that all players who already played with the old scenario will have like a totally fresh view of everything they can do instead of just redoing what they already did.
Perfect. And speaking of old players, I know you have upgrade packs as far as, updating your original game, but can you tell us a little bit more about how those are structured?
Yeah, sure. So you did right by saying packs because there's 2 of them. Yeah, actually, the game you will have only one pledge for like newcomers because like everything is inside the pledge. It's not like
Okay.
you've got some core, 7 expansion, and all in etc. You've got everything in the same place. So for people already owning like Project Real, there will be two different packs. One which will be for people who already own the all-in, so they will have the upgrade pack for like everything, and there will be a pack in between the normal pledge and this upgrade, which will be including all the stuff which were upgraded, and also all the minis and ties, which were part of the old expansion. For people who just took, the base core pledge, they will be able to like have everything also to play the full possibility of the game.
And then lastly, I know that Monolith has picked up other IPs in the past, but I am curious, what is it about Reichbusters specifically that caught your interest? There's obviously a different level of taking a look at something else that someone has done and being like, that's something we want to do. What caught your attention?
First, we are big lovers of like weird science stuff. And Reichbusters really have also this pulp feeling. We did Conan obviously, so we like pulp stuff. And Reichbusters really have this pretty unique feeling. I think it's a great way to approach World War II without going to too much serious stuff, I would say, which is something we really didn't want to do. So that was this part which was very interesting. And as Conan, Reichbusters, you have a very heroic feeling when you're playing your character with all the things you can do with your deck. So it was something we really wanted to take on, also because we were players already of the old game, and there was some stuff which were annoying us, and we were like, oh, we would love to do something else with the game, and that's totally what we have done with this one. The theme is really something we loved, and also especially for the time. The miniature and material was very, very good.
Yeah.
So it would have been a shame for us to just let that go away, I would say.
I completely agree on all accounts. I've always said, on a personal level, I've never loved World War II modern themes, but I've always loved that shift into the weird war, and as well as the production. Reichbusters was always a game that I thoroughly wanted to love, and I did enjoy it, but it did have some of those issues. So I'm personally very excited to see you not just picking it up, but addressing some of those common complaints. Anyways, with that, let's head on to our final campaign.